Hey guys, and welcome back to games I bought recently. It's been a while, quite a while since my last one, so I'm going to split this one into two parts because I think I've got quite a lot of stuff here, and it might just be my longest one yet. I did want to do these videos more frequently and then make them not as long, but I don't know, I guess it's just not happened this time, but I'll try to do that more for the future. Anyway, I'm just going to get started here. One thing I did get was I bought a lot of Megadrive games from this person. I bought loads of Megadrive games, and fortunately I haven't been able to play them that much yet. But anyway, what I did get was I got all this stuff for quite a good price. I got the Megadrive console, the Megadrive 2, and a bunch of controllers and stuff here, and all the wires and stuff. But what's most interesting is the games. So I'll show off some of the games. There's a lot here. And I'll try and give my short impressions on some of them, but I haven't had a chance to crack through all of these yet because there's quite a lot. Me and my friend and my brother, we basically spent the whole day just cleaning up all these cartridges, getting them to work, and we managed to get them all to work, which is pretty cool. Anyway, so first off is Echo the Dolphin, and this game looks really interesting. I really want to try and play this, but for some reason, every time I've tried to get past the very beginning of this game, I just can't work out. I have no idea what to do in this game, and it's kind of embarrassing. But I really want to actually play this game and see what it's like, but I just can't get through the beginning. If anyone can give me a hand on that, I'd be very appreciated. I've got Kid Chameleon, and I haven't played this one too much as well, but it looks like a pretty good action game. I was really happy to get this because I've heard good things about it, and I've watched stuff on it, and it looks really fun. I mean, on the back here, you've got I don't know, he's dressed up as the Splatterhouse guy or something like that. Not really sure exactly what this game is, but it looks like a lot of fun. Next up is World of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. And me and my friend, we tried to play this multiplayer, and we, again, like Echo the Dolphin, we got stuck right at the beginning because there was a mechanic where, or there was a puzzle, one person had to stand on one side of the seesaw, the other person had to jump, so they got up. But then there's another seesaw at the top, and we didn't know what to do, so we tried everything and then just gave up pretty quickly. But yeah, this looks like a really good Disney platformer on the Megadrive. Like most Disney platformers on the Megadrive were really good at that time. Next up, Galaxy Force 2. This is kind of a sort of flying game where you fly forward and you have to shoot stuff. Not really sure what this is. I didn't play this a lot. Winter Olympics, and this I got this on the Master System, and now I've got it on the Megadrive, and it's a lot better on the Megadrive. It's actually really fun. I played the skiing stuff, and that's a lot of fun. I mean, it's not bad on the Master System. It's actually graphically really impressive on the Master System. Next up is Sampras Tennis 96. A lot of these games are sports games. Didn't really play this much, but what I found interesting about this game is the cartridge. They put the Player 3 and Player 4 port on the cartridge, like the multi-taps for the PlayStation 1, but instead of plugging it into the system, you actually just, plug your controllers into the cartridge itself. I thought that was really interesting. Next up is Rise of the Robots, starring music from Brian May of Queen fame. I played the tiny bit at the beginning of this, didn't recognise any Brian May, but yeah, I think this is another action game. Here we have Aquatic Games, featuring James Pond and the Aquabats. I'm not sure who they are. Didn't play much of this, but I'll get on to James Pond in a second. Here's a really good one that I was really happy to get. It's called Classic Collection, and this collection of 4 games: Gunstar Heroes, Altered Beast, Flicky, and Alex Kidd and the Enchanted Castle. And I think out of the ones on these, the only one I haven't played is Flicky. But this is it's not completely rare, but it's not very common either. And Gunstar Heroes on its own actually goes for a lot of money. This if you get this collection, it's a lot cheaper, and you can play Gunstar Heroes from here. And that's the main one I was excited about on here. I've played Altered Beast and Alex Kidd; they're really good as well. But Gunstar Heroes is definitely a really fun action game, and one of the best that you can get on the Megadrive, to be quite honest. So if you want to play Gunstar Heroes and you want it cheap, pick up this Classic Collection rather than actually paying the full price for the game itself. David Robinson's Supreme Court, basketball game. I played this for a bit and I sucked. I could only score a couple of baskets. I was not very good at this at all. I just kept trying to score 3-pointers and just couldn't do it. That's what I do whenever I play any possible game, even NBA now. I don't know why, but I'm no good at them. Micro Machines, and this one was really fun. I only played the bathtub fun mode, but then if you look on the back, you've got loads of good modes like challenge and there's some mini games and stuff on there. It's really cool. This game's really good. It actually says on the back, probably the most playable game I've ever seen on the Megadrive, which I don't think I agree with that statement. I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog was, you know, probably the most playable game. Or there's even some puzzle games that are, you know, very playable. But anyway, this game was really good. I really enjoyed the Micro Maniacs games on the PS1, and that's what this reminded me of. I know Micro Machines is a big franchise, and I never really got into it, but that one was really enjoyable. Super high impact, and I think this is exclusive to the Genesis, but it's region free, so you can play it on Mega Drives as well. American football game. Might be good, I don't know. I kind of enjoy football games. Madden's pretty fun every now and again. Wrestle War. I played this and just kept getting thrown and suplexed, and they kept throwing me into the road bouncing off and then kicking me in the face. Didn't have a clue what I was doing. But yeah, I think it's 2 players, probably be fun 2-player for sure. Here we go, James Pond 2, codenamed RoboCod. I played James Pond on the PlayStation 1, and now I've played it on the Mega Drive, and they're pretty much identical versions, to be honest, but I just don't... I'm a big platforming fan, but I don't know, I just never could get into James Pond. There's something about the game that I really don't like. But I'm not sure, is anyone out there, does anyone out there like James Pond? Tell me what's good about it, and I'll try and play through it again, and actually, I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me. NBA Jam, a classic among retro fans. I know a lot of people like this. I haven't played this too much yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. My brother was happy that I got this because this is supposed to be a really good sports game, one of the best arcade sports games. I know it's really over-the-top basketball fun, so it might be a little bit more fun than David Robinson's Supreme Court. Desert Strike. I didn't really play this much, I'm not really sure what it is. I couldn't even get off the first screen, it just kept showing me a boat and it was telling you your mission and I wasn't even sure what to do, so just checked if it worked and then it was good. FIFA International Soccer. Now, I haven't played this one yet, but I actually enjoy the modern FIFA games and I'm really looking forward to actually trying this out. I'm not sure why, it looks really good. I suppose this must be the first FIFA game if it doesn't have a number on it. But yeah, that one looks good. Mortal Kombat, you know, classic for the Mega Drive. Obviously the best version that you can get between Super Nintendo and Mega Drive is probably this one because you get the blood code on this. Yeah, I think it's called Abacab, and that's the blood code. But yeah, classic fighting game. I think I prefer Street Fighter. I'm much more of a Street Fighter guy, but I can still appreciate Mortal Kombat, and I still do enjoy it. It's good fun, especially multiplayer. Red Zone. I played this for a bit and I'm not quite sure. It's from the back of the case, it looks like it's an action game, but then when I was playing it I think I was doing shooting in a plane or something. I'll have to play this one a lot more, but I did enjoy it from a little bit I played it. And lastly, I can't even pronounce the name, Ayrton Senna's Super Monaco GP2. Basically a Grand Prix game. And I had somewhat, I don't know, the game seemed to control itself, because as I was racing, like, just to see if it worked, I tried to drive off the track and see if I could drive under the grass, and then no matter where I pushed the controller, it would just drive me along the actual track, so not a whole lot of fun. I didn't really have that much fun with this. What I found was funny though is that he's there pictured wearing a tux, earning a trophy on the box itself. So it's like, if you play this game, you can, you know, be in the Grand Prix yourself, and you can be wearing a tux and earning your own trophies. So that was it for the Mega Drive stuff. I've got a whole load more stuff here. I've got consoles, I've got imports, special editions, which I will do some unboxings for. But so let's just go on to the 2 handhelds I picked up. I got DSi XL, and this is the Special Mario Edition, and the 3DS XL. This is the Blue Pokemon Edition. and I'll show the consoles as well. I did want to get the Legend of Zelda 3DS XL, but it sold out just before I got the money for it, so I got the Pokemon one instead. So first off, the DSi XL, the Special Mario edition. Not really a huge design on the console itself, and I prefer the Pokemon that it's got a big design on the front, and this one's really subtle, and I don't know, it just doesn't even seem like there's a lot on it, to be honest. This is for the 25th anniversary of Mario, and these consoles are really great. Like the screens, you can't go back to regular 3DS or DSi screens after you've seen the screens on these, because they're so big, and it just makes the other ones seem really small. The Pokemon design on this is really good, and I'm actually glad that I got this over the Zelda one, because the Zelda one, even though it's Zelda, I don't think the 3DS looks as cool as this one. And this one you even get a little Froakie, Fennekin and Chespin on the back, which I thought was just really good. Really like these consoles, really like the designs of them, and happy to get them, because I didn't actually own a 3DS or a DS before this. I mean, I had loads of games, I had ways to play them, but I didn't own the consoles myself, and now, you know, I'm free to play any DS and 3DS stuff I want, and I did pick up some games for them, which I'll show later on. Next, I picked up a new game for an old console, and this is Gamester 81, the video game. Now, this is a homebrew game for the Colecovision. And Gamester 81 is a big guy on YouTube. I'm a huge fan of him. He makes really good videos about video games, reviews, and all the likes, collecting stuff, everything. He's really great for that. If you haven't checked out Gamester 81 on YouTube, then definitely do so. He's really good. I unfortunately haven't been able to play this because I don't own a Colecovision, but he did an Indiegogo campaign on this, and I didn't want to miss out on getting the actual game itself. But I'll talk about the packaging. First of all, you know, obviously the box is really good, and what the gameplay is, it's an homage to Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, and Space Invaders, but it plays nothing like them. It borrows their likenesses, but from what I've seen on videos, it plays nothing like them. And yeah, so you get this awesome cartridge. Just looks like any old Colecovision cartridge, which is amazing. And it comes with a manual, you know, which is fantastic, because, you know, most new games for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One and Wii U don't come with manuals. So it's a full art manual. Very nice. Really enjoy the packaging on this, and I'm assuming the game will be just as good. And me and my brother, we've been looking out to get ColecoVisions. Get a ColecoVision, because we'd love to play this game, but unfortunately we just haven't been able to as of now. Anyway, moving on. An old game for the Game Boy Color. I was searching for this game for so long, and it never popped up on eBay. I've never seen it at any conventions or anything like that. But I finally got Rayman 2 Forever boxed and complete for the Game Boy Color. I mean, it popped up car only, but never boxed and complete. So what I did to find it was, it was probably sitting on there for a while and no one picked it up, no one actually was interested, and so I ended up getting it for pretty cheap. It was a buy it now auction on the German eBay, so if you're in Europe, this is actually fully in English. It comes with all different languages. On the front of the game, it all plays in English, so if you live in the United Kingdom and you want to get European copies of older games, or probably even newer games, consider looking at eBay for other areas in Europe, and just make sure that it actually, like, ask the seller a question, make sure it comes in English and stuff. So yeah, this is the exact same version I could have picked up in the United Kingdom a long time ago. I don't know why it just pops into my head now to look into other eBays. The game itself, there's two Game Boy Color Raymans, as the first one and this. This one takes the story from the second Rayman and just puts it in like 2D levels rather than 3D. I don't think this one's as good as the first Rayman on Game Boy Color, to be honest. It tries to add in new mechanics, which are exploitable, and you can just there'll be a wall that hurts you. You have to turn a switch off in order to get through the wall, but you can just walk through it and lose a little bit of health. I don't think the level design's quite up there with the first Rayman on Game Boy Color. So if you're going to pick up a Rayman on Game Boy Color, get the more common and the better first one. This one's okay though, but it's the same engine. Just wasn't as impressed as I was with the first one. Next up, PlayStation 1 game, Spyro the Dragon, an absolute classic by Insomniac. One of the best 3D platformers of the generation that it came out on the PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64. It's a huge collectathon. You go around every level collecting gems and collecting dragons. and collecting eggs. There's so much stuff to do. There's so many levels to explore. There's a huge overworld map, and then there's more levels in there. The only downside of this game really is boss battles. They don't even seem like boss battles, to be honest. And once there's always like one world where you miss just like one gem or something. You're like, where the hell is it? You spent ages finding it, and then it's in the most obvious place. But this is one of my favourite collectathon style 3D platformers. I probably even prefer it to stuff like Banjo-Kazooie, and you know, classics like that. Spyro the Dragon is absolutely incredible, and this one I made sure to pick up it complete with the winter releases demo. And this one comes with it's got stuff like Spice World, I think it's called, on it, but it's got other good games like Cooler World and Crash Bandicoot and some other good demos on there. Next up, for the DS, I got Band Hero, and this is in terrible condition, to be honest, but it was £2, and it comes complete with all the stuff. And you know, if I just turn it on the side and put it in the shelf, hey, it's good as new, mint condition. So I'll do a little unboxing of this. What you get with it, you get the guitar grip itself, and you get that with the other on-tour games on the DS, but what this comes with is a drum skin. And what the drum skin does is it fits onto your Nintendo DS Lite like this, but it's only compatible for the DS Lite, obviously because of the shape reasons. And then you just, like, you press these in order to play it, but you know, they're kind of hard to push down, and you can just play it with the buttons itself. But even then, it's not entirely great, because the way they've mapped the buttons, it makes it seem like you have to go up. You have to. It's hard to explain, but Rock Band Unplugged, it was you know, intuitive, the buttons you had to press, because it's 4 along and you have to press them like that. But in this one, it kind of goes upside down, so it makes it feel like the higher tom you have to hit the lower button for, and it just doesn't really make sense. But you can play it on DSi XLs or DSi's without the drum skin. You just can't play guitar. It also comes, you can play vocals. To be honest though, they work okay, they work like the console versions, but the DS microphone isn't that powerful, and you have to, you know, either be really close to your DS in order to sing and get it to pick it up, or be singing really loudly. And you know, if you go out like on a bus and you just start singing into your DS, you're going to look like a bit of a moron. So the game's okay. If you can find it cheap, pick it up. The song list is okay. It's got some songs that, you know, it's not as good as the Band Hero set list on the consoles, but the game's alright. For the Wii, I got Beat the Beat Rhythm Paradise, and this is the sequel to Rhythm Paradise on the DS. I think in America this is called Rhythm Heaven Fever. But these games are really fun. Interestingly about this game, you don't use the motion of the Wii remote, which is really weird, because this is like a first-party Nintendo game. So you think you would. No, instead you use the A and the B button. You just tap in time with the crazy mini games. This might have been developed by the same company that did WarioWare, because the art style and the gameplay style is very similar. I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. I haven't looked it up. But yeah, I really enjoy these games. If you're a fan of rhythm games, or if you're a fan of like WarioWare style crazy games with crazy mini games that make no sense, I'd definitely check out the Rhythm Paradise franchise, or Rhythm Heaven if you're in America. I hope we get one on the Wii U, because this is one of my favourite new Nintendo franchises, and it's one that's not really known. I mean, when you think of latest Nintendo franchises, you think of Pikmin, but, well, I suppose this was on the Game Boy Advance originally in Japan, so I'm not sure if it's as new as Pikmin, but still, check it out, really good. For the DS, we've got Solo to Robo, Red the Hunter, and this is an action game where you play as Red, this character on the front, and you can ride giant robots and beat people up and stuff, and it's got kind of RPG elements. You can level up your robot and stuff, you can do quests. It's a really big game, and I haven't been able to get too far through it because it's such a big game. You can also do races and other things. It's a really fun, really big game. Not really an RPG. I thought it would be an RPG when I first saw it, but it's more of an action game with RPG style elements. The only downside of this really is the controls were hard to get used to. Like, because in order to, it's not just punch people like for combat like usual action games. You have to pick them up and throw, and then jump, catch them, pick them up and throw them again, and you have to keep doing that. And it gets a little cumbersome. The races, the controls can get really off. That's the only downside of this, is the controls though. Besides that, really good game on the DS. If you haven't checked it out, I got this for really cheap. I got this for £5, and I think on eBay it's going for a bit more than that. I got it off Argos. It might be sold out yet, but if you're in the UK, check your local Argos and see if they've still got Solid to Robo. Also check for Beat the Beat Rhythm Paradise, because that's also there for cheap. Again, for the Wii, I got Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and it's amazing that it took this long for me to re-pick this game up, because I did have it before. I got it for launch. So excited when it came out. I played it for hundreds of hours. I got almost every trophy. The only trophy I didn't get was the one which required all the stickers, which was eventually down to luck. But this game is amazing. A lot of people say that this game isn't as good as Melee because they slowed it down a little bit. That's true, and Melee is a lot more hectic than Brawl, to be honest. But all the new additions of this, I think, just make it a little bit better than Melee. You get all the new characters. My main character when I played online was Lucas. This is a fantastic game. The Subspace Emissary, which is the adventure mode, a lot of people also didn't like it very much. It was more of a platformer than a fighter. And there's always debate whether this is actually a platforming game or a fighting game, this Melee and the original Nintendo 64. I do say it's a fighting game, but to be honest, the adventure mode was just a platformer. But still, it was a platformer in the style of, say, Kirby Superstar or Kirby's Fun Pack, with all your favourite Nintendo characters, and I thought the cutscenes were amazing. It was really funny seeing Lucario spot Solid Snake through a box. And yeah, just absolutely great. I really enjoyed the adventure mode, and I think that's what made this my favourite Smash Bros. Game. And it's one of my favourite games of the generation. Really enjoy it. Still, when I pick this up again, I've played it for hundreds of, well not hundreds, but I've played it for loads of hours again. Maybe it was a mistake picking this up because I've got so many other games to play that, you know, I really can't just be sitting here playing this game. Anyway, so this is the limited edition that we got here in Europe. For pre-ordering the game, I think it was, I had this back in the day and I had to pay a little extra to get it again off eBay. So you get the slipcover, but I also got, and this one's a little bit more uncommon to get this version. It comes with a postcard. I think it comes with a few other different characters. I got the one with Zero Suit Samus, which is my favourite one. So yeah, any people who have a Wii, you gotta get Brawl. One of the best games on the system. Absolutely love it. Smash Bros. Brawl. Fantastic. And lastly, for this part, I have Bravely Default, and this is a deluxe edition. I didn't do an unboxing of this when it came out, because I didn't pick it up when it came out. I had to get it a little bit after the original launch, because I didn't have enough money for it at the time. But yeah, I've got it now, so I'll do an unboxing of this. And this version comes with so much good stuff. It comes with a big art book, a massive art book. The art style in this game is really fantastic, so this massive art book is really appreciated. All the character designs are really nice. I mean, this game was famous for getting slightly censored here, which, you know, I'm not surprised, because some of the, well, even the stuff that hasn't been censored is quite revealing. So, you know, we're lucky we got this stuff. I know the deluxe edition in America is slightly different to this. Don't think you get the statue with it, which I'll show in a minute. So it also comes with a mini soundtrack, and this is a recurring theme in Square Enix special editions. The artwork on the disc is really nice, and you get 10 songs on it, which is actually a bit more than most Square Enix soundtracks. You also get this pack of cards. And these cards just show a lot of cool artwork of the characters on them. And then the main attraction is this statue of the character Agnes. Excuse me if my pronunciation's wrong. And then we have the game itself. So, if you've ever played Final Fantasy III on the DS, that's what I'd say this is the most similar to. It's got the turn-based system is slightly different to other Final Fantasy games, because you don't have an active time gauge. You select all your party's attacks at the start of the turn, and then it's kind of like Pokemon double battles or triple battles in a way. And yeah, the art style is very similar to Final Fantasy III as well on the DS. So this game really is just, say, Final Fantasy III. I know I keep mentioning Final Fantasy III, but it's like an old style RPG like that on the NES or the SNES, and just it's kind of modernised, only slightly modernised. Like, it really is very traditional. So fans of old style RPGs will really enjoy this game. But it's slightly modernised in the fact that you can change the difficulty on the fly, and you can change whether random encounters happen, which makes it slightly easier and not as brutal as old RPGs. So if you do enjoy traditional RPGs, but you're slightly turned away because of the difficulty and, you know, the need for grinding and stuff, then this is like the game for you. This is such a fantastic game. I've only played the beginnings. I have only actually got 2 party members at this point. I haven't been able to dive into this quite as much as I'd like to yet. One thing this does do differently to other traditional RPGs is you get the default and the brave system, where if you default, then you'll be able to store a move and then use more moves in each turn, which comes in really handy. And there's also other features like Street Pass and I think Spot Pass. You can get your friends and you can bring them into your game and use them as summons, which from what I hear, it can get a bit overpowered, but sometimes you know, if you're stuck on a boss, it'll make it a little bit easier. I'm really enjoying Bravely Default from what I've played so far, and I cannot wait to dive in and get even further in this game, because it's so good from what I've played so far. So that's it for part 1. Thanks for watching, and feel free to stick around for part 2.